Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live. We're definitely not loud today. I'm still suffering the consequences of going to Champions League Celtic Park. Congratulations to Brian, the competition winner, who had the pleasure of sitting next to me as I was losing my voice, aiming all my passion towards the referee and the players on the pitch and everything else in between. But yeah, it's a great one. We're here for the deadline show as ever on Quinny 3001 channels, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook and Twitch and everything else in between. And as ever, we're joined by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, fist bump, good to see you.
Good to see you, my man. Yeah, back in the hometown of Cardiff, and ready to go, mate. Buzzing for this weekend, and maybe I'll have to carry this show a little bit more than usual because the voice situation this week for yourself is quite something, and I've experienced that Brian sort of experience, in real life. I've been to a Celtic even Champions League game with yourself. Unfortunately, we didn't get a win that night, but.
No.
Yeah, unbelievable experience. So yeah, I'm just buzzing for him to have that experience for himself, and yeah, just so you could do it again. Unbelievable, mate.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was definitely, I've seen that as well. Definitely one of the best games I've been to ever. And definitely the best game I've been to in a long time. It was a great one. Thanks again to Sorare on tour for the support. We had Stishy Boy in the house as well. We recorded a bit of end product live in the studio. That should be out some point imminently. Not too sure. Tried to do it a wee bit different because we were in studio. Hope you enjoy it when it comes out. And we had McBride Ace, obviously everyone's favourite whale, the Scottish whale. We were there at Paradise to see it all, and it was great. So, yeah, congratulations to the winner. And Harry Boy, the midweek was a bit of a rock and roll show for both of us in some different ways. I can see you're kind of getting yourself set up. I'll kind of just, while we're getting everyone comfy, there's about 40, 50 of you guys here, fist bump. We'll get to the fist bumps in the live chat and all that good stuff. But just as you're getting comfy, as you're hitting that like button, we need to get to 67 likes. We will be giving actually 2 cards away on the stream today. One has been donated already by the patron saint, the host of the Sorare Ramble, SR Monkey. And I've got one in the 3D Premier League giveaway that's been running on the channel throughout the last couple of weeks. So before we can do any giveaways, but we need to hit 67 likes, guys. So the sooner we do that, the better. If you are on Twitter and you find the broadcast, hit a like and the retweet. Support the cause, support the channel, support the show. It means a lot to us, me and Harry Boy. And is there anything else housekeeping-wise? I don't think there is. But the midweek was a bit of a roller coaster. I think I'll start off with the pain because I think everyone likes a wee bit of pain when you watch people's lineups and scores come in. And 10 points off of Freshie in the Super is a bit of a kick in the balls with Taylor's penalty conceded. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but the penalty, super, super soft. But guys, Lucas Martinez Quatra got his wee shine shirt over here on the mannequin. His debut for the club, Harry Boy. At home to Kukurike, dropped a goal and an assist. Wirtz dropped 3 assists and a goal. And Braze scored the game-winning goal, obviously, against Benfica. So I finished in the top 10 in Champion Euro Rare Plus, or what would we call that now? Oh, we can maybe abbreviate that, by the way, to like share. Oh, P, that's a P. I was going to say, no, that may be a fun abbreviation there if you use the CH from Champion. But anyway, finishing top 10 in there, which I'm thoroughly excited with. And the Celtic boys, despite it being a 2-2 draw in All-Star, I'm finishing 24th or 25th, somewhere around there. McBride Ace was top of, listen to this, Harry Boy. McBride Ace is top of Challenger last time I seen him. And he's only like half a point better than me. And he's number 1 in Challenger D3.
Ooh, and this could have went 24th. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just showing the power of All-Star and how tough it is to, or the competition there, I guess. But yeah, that's annoying. Very annoying. Did you say you would have beaten his score, if that makes sense?
No, I'd have been like a point and a bit behind him or something like that. It's very minimal.
Got you.
Sort of thing. So yeah, tough. And I got a wee bit of rare Freshie as well, thanks to Cassianos winning a penalty. And Ferran Torres having a great game against Shakhtar with a goal and an assist, double decisive for the wee man before El Clasico this weekend, Harry Boy, which we'll be coming on to at some point. Midweek for yourself, but not quite as fruitful.
Not as fruitful, mate. Not at all. Just weird, man. I had so many decisives in places I didn't need them, if that makes sense. This was like a completely throwaway team, and Greenwood ends up scoring away to Norwich. Delinga scores at Anfield. Random things like that. I mean, this was off to a decent start, but then Barron didn't do much last night, and Duke started on the bench. So Aberdeen sort of result was unlucky for them and stuff. But yeah, mate, just weird. Timber big chance miss, Simakan big chance miss. Just weird situations. Red Bull score 5. Amaya doesn't get anywhere near those decisives. Not that he's like scoring goals all the time, but just weird things like that. And I didn't really expect Bart to play, to be honest. But just no, I don't know, just so many decent scores, but just not in the right places. Obviously, the sort of tale of always, I guess, on Sorare. But I had like Zaya Emery in training, 82. I had Gluck in training, 75. Vargas. This is mate, honestly. I've held Vargas, right, for ages. And I've not taken advantage of neither of those 3 scores, Quinny. Can you believe that?
Oh,
and his
I hate when that
L15
happens.
is like 35. It's the most frustrating thing ever. I was honestly, I'm kicking myself looking at it now. But what can you do? It is what it is. It's part of Sorare, and you've just got to just sort of just get on with it, I guess. But just not enough. Caceres got a goal as a right back for Lanús last night. Didn't play him because the actual Twitter account of the club tweeted like he's struggling with an injury, and then he plays 90 minutes and scores a goal. So it's just like, what luck of you? You just got no hope of you if things like that are sort of coming out. But I am playing him this weekend, so watching DMP.
Yeah. Well, that's always the way, isn't it? I hate those ones where you miss the form. Even after that first or that second green, you maybe think, it's just still a bit of maybe a flash in the pan, or you talk yourself out of it somehow, and you just see the scores keep coming and you keep not catching them. It's I'm kind of going through a wee bit of that now with McGinn. I'm not catching many of McGinn's big scores, which is really frustrating for me. Because see, every time he's going off, it feels like every time he's going off, people are like that. Oh, well done, Quinny. And I'm always like, nah, it's not well done. Like, there's no well done's here for me, man.
No well done's, yeah.
No, for sure. We've got the matchups tab there. Before we get into the good stuff, guys, we're flying up. A lot of you guys are getting in here. You're getting comfy. The likes are flying up. They're not quite at 67 yet, but we need to drop some fist bumps, guys. We've got a new member to the FC Barcelona, and he's picked up his season tickets. We'll see for the member streams. Vigors, good to see you, mate. Fist bump, Liam King. Fist bump to you, Packus Murphy, Juju, Copley's, Charlie Dunbar, my man. Johnny TH, a lot of heroes, a lot of Sorare scouts and managers from all over the world. Tune into the deadline stream every week to catch up on predicted 11s, strategy. Where are the biggest matchups? What are we avoiding? What are we looking for? Where are the reward pools and those last minute decisions? What are we going to be doing? Is it Frimpong? Is it Grimaldo? So I think that's probably Grimaldo obviously smashed in the midweek. Frimmers is too good. He chills out for the midweek. You don't need him, So I see another comment that's similar to this, which made me think of that, Harry, which is last week as well, we had another one of, we've got another member as well, Ian, sorry, our fist pump, man. Thanks for picking up your season ticket. Thanks for supporting the channel. I see Sorare Monkey as well, fist bumps. There's tons of them coming in there, but I'm just looking to find that O'Reilly comment. There's a big one here, so I'm just going to put that on screen because I've not caught that yet. Stadium voice, that's the way to put it. Ugo, there's the O'Reilly comment there, but... right, sorted. There we go. So O'Reilly, the best scorer on Sorare last week. Johnny TH put the poll out that we had on the live stream to be Bellingham or O'Reilly, and it was a good one for sure. And if you look at the ratings, I was looking at Matt O'Reilly and see. Where's the statistics? I still got them handy, but it's like see in the top. Like under 23 mids, he's like third or something like that. It's Bellingham, somebody, then him, and then somebody's like Almada or something like that. And then I think it's like all midfielders in Europe at the moment. It's like 7th or something like that of all ages. His form at the moment is just ridiculous. O'Reilly. Bellingham is top of every one of these charts, no matter what age, no matter what geography. Bellingham is top of every midfield chart. There's just no getting away from him. But O'Reilly's definitely doing his best to try and make that something.
Yeah, 100%. He's unbelievable right now. And it's like, I was talking to Fed on the podcast, and like he was like, I really want to pick up a Matt O'Reilly, which no shock, I guess, to anyone wanting. Like everyone would probably want a Matt O'Reilly right now, but like you'd argue he's playing in an easier league than Bellingham is in that sense. So it's like it is scores you would probably expect. A couple. Not that it's just really hard to see Bellingham slowing down, but like O'Reilly's just got it easier. If we're being honest, even though Real Madrid, are a top team in their own league. I don't think it's comparable to Celtic in their league, if that makes sense. So it's like, I don't know. It's obviously Bellingham's worth a lot more, but like, what, you don't think Celtic have it easier than Real Madrid have it in the La Liga?
Well, if you think, like, let's say Bellingham's a 10, right? And Real Madrid overall is like a 9. What we say in the Liga is like a 7, right?
So in what? Like, what do you mean?
Let's just say out of 10. Let's just say out of 10, like quality, right? Bellingham's 10 out of 10 at the moment. Real Madrid as a team's probably like 9 out of 10. And the quality in La Liga, let's just say as an overall average, is like 7 out of 10, right? Because it's one of the best leagues in Europe, right? So let's say Celtic are 6 out of 10, right? Let's say O'Reilly is 7 out of 10. And let's say the rest of the SPL is 3 out of 10. It's kind of the same.
No, in terms of like Celtic aren't a 6 out of 10 in the SPFL, are they?
No, but like, yeah, okay. But
that's what I'm on about, because that's all it matters. Because it doesn't matter, does it? Because on Sorare, you're just looking at his, like, Matt O'Reilly is playing this team in the SPL. That's my issue. Is like, if you had them both in front of me right now, you know, I'd be playing Matt O'Reilly this weekend because Bellingham's playing, you know, Barcelona. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I just think
fair.
There's less reason to drop a Matt O'Reilly. I'm not on about in real life, obviously, there's no comparison, but on the game, there's definitely a reason why I'd be picking up a Matt O'Reilly. Never mind because he's 3 times cheaper. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, there's risk in the sense he could move elsewhere and it might not be as fruitful. Fair enough. There's definitely risk, and you know that's probably why he's a bit cheaper. But yeah, Connor says there, Bellingham's international for England. Yeah, there is that 100%, but is that worth 3 times the amount? I don't know. He's obviously a bit younger as well, so I don't know. It's an interesting one. Obviously, yeah, like they said, if you're Channy, just get both.
That's it. Well, I've dropped the poll in there, Bellingham or O'Reilly, with the context of Bellingham's playing El Classico this weekend and O'Reilly is away to Hibs. So is it big game for the big player? Does Bellingham still drop out an 80 plus, a 90 plus? Does he even smash a 100? And O'Reilly is in fantastic form, as we're waxing lyrical about. Away to Hibs won't be an easy game. And also, we just played midweek. There's a bit of a fixture pile-up thing kind of happening. So does he maintain his form? Does he smash 80 plus, 90 plus? Who are you picking? The poll is in the live chat, guys. When you're interacting with that, make sure to hit the like on the stream on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you're finding it. And be sure, if there's any Sorare scouts and managers you know of that don't join the deadline stream, you just share the link to the stream wherever you're finding it and send it over to them and say, wait, you're missing in. Why are you missing out on this? Get stuck in. Sort of Tanny Boy. I think it's about that time in the stream. We've been going for about 13 minutes at the moment. So I think we should probably get into the matchups tab and see what is rocking and rolling. In the live chat, guys, I say interact with the poll we've got there and let us know as we're getting through the teams anything you're backing, you're for or against.
It feels like deja vu a bit for me, Quinny, because I stepped in to do your half a job that you do with Laird. Not half a job, as in
it's half a job.
You don't do anything. I meant your half.
It's great fun, it's great fun.
Nah, yeah, no, it is. I enjoy stepping in and stuff, and obviously I've seen the tab already, and it makes for sort of easy reading in that sense, and Champ Europe again. Well, not again, but Champ Europe this weekend is kind of probably going to be dominated by Bayern Munich stacks, as it is probably ever. But with the Neuer L15 of 0, could they fall into these cap modes and just completely like cap 270 this weekend? All the best is all I can say. Because if some big accounts that have like Bayern teams and they'll go with a Neuer L15 of 0, they can pick whoever they want, right? Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Kane, Sane, Kimmich, Kim Min-jae, or whoever you want to do, and you're just fully in the cap, right? What's that? 140? Yeah, just about though. It'd be close, but you can basically pick anyone you want effectively, and they're at home to Darmstadt. So it's like, what chance have you got, Quinny? Really?
Oh, especially when Delict's in there at 42, even Lima at 50 could be somewhat useful. Lima hit 70 midweek, just for context. So, for sure, it could be a wee bit of a OP cheat code with the 0 Neuer there. Be really interesting. I think that'll be more influential probably at the limited level, because I feel like some people have maybe got a 35-year-old Manuel injured, broken leg Neuer in, waiting for this moment. So the limited 270 might get a bit more, let's say, open or competitive, because like you say, it's a total roll. If you've got a Neuer, you can, if you really wanted to go for that division, you can. It's a real opener, isn't it?
100%. So in thinking of that sort of strategy then, Quinny, do we foresee in a weird way, like players or, at the rare level, whatever level, they do have a Neuer and a defensive stack of Bayern, will they like not go into Champ Europe? Because will they think, well, am I wasting the Neuer L15 of 0 if I play them in Champ, if that makes sense? I think that could be something we see this week. I'm not saying we won't see Bayern cards in Champ and Gas or whatever, but I do think there has to be an uptick of them in the cap mode. Surely to God, like nobody's going to not take advantage of that Neuer L15. I'm sorry, it's just don't make sense.
I think it depends on your availability. So that's why I said limited. I think it will probably have the most impact, because how many people have got a Neuer that if he's coming back to be fit as the Bayern goalkeeper, he's not your primo guy, regardless of his L15, Like if you're going to play Champ Euro, you're not going to play...
They,
Yeah, but if you've got okay, let's just say that's acceptable. Let's just say that's the case, right? But like if Neuer's your main guy at home to Darmstadt this week, because his L15 0, you're not going to drop him and play, I don't know, let's just say...
I'm not saying you drop him, but you just move him over to the cap mode is my point.
No,
like,
I know,
the
but like,
L15
drop him
of 0 is
champ,
too valuable.
if he's your number one champ keeper, but, and then you're bringing someone else in, like, I don't know, like Mignan or something, I don't know. Like, then you're killing that team, because Mignan's probably not going to get anywhere near a Neuer score, if you get me. So if you're actually wanting to play, if it's actually, your main guy, like you need Neuer, and you're like, yes, Neuer's back. I'm not too sure at rare level, there's going to be that many of them that they're free enough where they'll go, let's exploit the cap with him, rather than, brilliant, finally, I've got my elite champ goalkeeper back to go with my super rare defender or my whatever that people have typically for these teams, That's just the way I think of it. I don't know.
I get what you're saying, but like Neuer being somebody's number one is like he hasn't played for X amount of months, right? So it's like they've obviously had other goalies, you'd like to think. So it's fair. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to have other ones. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been playing the game realistically for the last couple of months, i.e. SO5, if you don't have the Bayern goalie, right? Because he's not played. So I don't know. I think it'd be a waste if you didn't use a Neuer in a cap mode this weekend, personally. I'm not saying you have to stack him with the Bayern defense, but like it just feels like a locked in situation. Yeah, Kev's got a good point. Are you wasting it in 270? Well, you're not if you've already had a good 270 week last week. And this week is the week to smash, isn't it? Like if there's ever a week to like really kick on, it would be this
at home to Darmstadt. Like this should be 7-0.
Do you know what I mean? People are going to be hitting mental scores in 270. I know there's no weekly rewards or whatever, but that monthly there is some big rewards to be had if you're consistent over those 8 game weeks or whatever. But I just think you just got locked in. I just can't see how they're going to score. So it's like 60 points minimum for your Neuer. And then it's what can your 4 outfielders do, one being the captain. And if you've got a Coman, Kane or Sane or whoever, I just don't see how you can't just absolutely smash. Like, it's just ridiculous. Thank you, Liam. Liam's my boy.
Or what about this one? Neuer into 220.
Well, yeah, 220, 240. Yes, I'm saying he didn't have to go into 270. You can go into 240, and I know it's only a threshold or whatever, but you could win. There's some big cards at the top of there. We've seen Laird win a Bruno Fernandes or whatever. Like, there's still a reason why Neuer should be in a cap mode this weekend. I think it's just way too like OP, 100%. But we'll see him. We'll see him everywhere, obviously.
The poll is tighter than Frimmy versus Grimmy, or I like Frimmers better than Frimmy. I like Frimmers and Grimmy, and it's 54% for Bellingham. We'll leave that running for a little while. We're halfway to our league goal. We're around the 30 mark, and we've got over 100 Sorare scouting managers watching us across all the various platforms that we could be on, no matter where you are on the various internet places. But yeah, that's a top fixture this week, and it's really hard to look beyond Bayern, Darmstadt, like in any metric. Darmstadt, I think like they've put up some like plucky performances so far this year. I don't think they've been an absolute write-off, but at home at Bayern, and I know Bayern are not the finished article at the moment, a lot of injuries, a lot of question marks around the team in a lot of different ways, but still at home, the quality they have. Kane, Sane, how strong the defence is. Kimmich is still in the team. It's damn near impossible to look past them, isn't it?
100%. 100%. And And yeah, I remember just thinking back to the stream I did with Laird. Like, I know Arsenal's up there as well, but it was like, I think that Bayern fixture is just going to stand alone personally. Like, yeah, it's a great fixture for Arsenal, home to Chef, but I know United played them away, but there was no clean sheet. I think we mentioned it at the stream, then we were like, it'd be interesting that I just foresaw that Manchester United would not struggle at Chef, but it wouldn't be a walk in the park. And not saying the Chef will give Arsenal problems, but will we see massive Arsenal scores this weekend? I don't know. I mean, we'll see some good ones here and there. I don't know. You can foresee a Rice Saka probably 75 plus. Odegaard's been hot and cold in games like this where you expect him to like completely smash. He just doesn't. I don't know. It's an interesting one with Arsenal.
I like what Nanzo's saying in here as well. I would normally go along with what Nanzo's saying here, but I think one of the best things about Bayern Munich is they do their press conferences at UK time, 10 in the morning. You know what I mean? So you've heard from the manager even before the deadline show, and Thomas Tuchel has definitely said stuff like, everyone's happy that Neuer's going to be back in the team this week, to some effect, if you know what I mean. So I think when it's as stated as that, you can maybe make the exception to the rule. Nanzo, my man, I probably shouldn't say that to you because you're obviously podium dangerous everywhere, and we all fear Nanzo creeping up on us on the leaderboards. But because normally if it is a centre back, a striker, a midfielder, there's always that, do they start from the bench? Who goes straight back into the starting 11? But I think this is maybe the exception to the rule on this one, mate. I think on that
stand alone in a weird way. I was just going to say goalkeepers feels like they stand alone a little bit, but
now Johnny TH isn't risking Jesus for this one, right? Now I've still got the amateur mode open. I thought it was this week we couldn't use it anymore, but I thought, hey, let's just put some common teams in and see if we can win any more limiteds to give away while we can still do that on the channel. And this weekend it's the Manchester Derby. We'll get to that later, obviously. But basically, I could only play Højlund and Haaland in the same team, like the way my availability was and stuff like that. So anyway, I swapped out Højlund for Jesus, and I'm backing him. I'm going for it. I think at home to Sheffield is a good game. I think this is a really good one for Arsenal if they are going to fight again for the title. This is a game that when you see some of the scores we've had in the Premier League so far this season, we've had some big ones. We've had some 7s, we've had some 6s. Did we get an 8? We got an 8, didn't we? No. 8. Am I lying? No.
6-1, Villa 6-1. I can't remember.
Did Newcastle not? Did Sheffield not get beat like 8-1 or something?
Yeah, it was 8. Yeah, 8-1, 8-0.
Yeah,
8-1.
One of those weeks, guys. I'm sorry. I'll wait to investigate. But anyway, there's been some mad scores this season already, and the Premier League, like sometimes it goes through wee patches of having really high scoring games. Yeah, 8-0 Newcastle beat Sheffield, just to confirm that once again. So I think this is a fixture where, like, if they are going to go and stay in amongst it, like the bar's been set for when you dominate a team, you know. And I know they've had midweeks, and there's maybe some other question marks like we spoke about there, but I think like this is a game Arsenal really need to keep up with the pace of the pack. The big question marks, but Harry, I was going to bring on there just because it's a nice segue on goalkeepers, is the Raya and Ramsdale situation. Raya's still preferred to start of this game.
Yeah, I remember I watched the Gary Neville podcast a couple of days ago, and he was just talking about that topic specifically, and like, yeah, it's a weird one. Like, he was basically saying it's almost counterproductive having like two very good number ones, and I know that's more of a newer thing in football recently. Like, you know, he compared it to his day, obviously, as he does as a United player, and like they had like one number one, you know, and then the number two is a definite number two. But like in this situation, obviously we had Ramsdale start the season, now Raya's come in, and yeah, it's just a weird dynamic, like, because he was basically saying like Raya is playing knowing that like one mistake effectively or one or two and he's gone again. Do you know what I'm saying? As far as like being the starter, because Ramsdale's going to be raring to go again. So that competition works for outfield players. I think it's a weird dynamic as a goalkeeper. I think the pressure, I don't know, it's just a weird one. I just don't think you need it as a number one goalkeeper, having that type of pressure breathing down your neck. So I don't know, it's an interesting one. But like someone said in the chat there, it's either going to be like 1-0 or 5-0. That's kind of how I'm reading into it. If Arsenal score early, then it's curtains for Chef. But if they can get to 0-0 at half time, you know.
Imagine Sheffield scored first.
Yeah, it's a possibility. You just never know. It's, on the counter, and Arsenal try and play out from the back. They shouldn't have, and they get caught. You just never know. Things like that. Obviously, we see it very often in football. So yeah, interesting one for sure.
Yeah, big time. So yeah, Bayern, then Arsenal, very strong. There's 2 China games in here that we're not going to touch on. Wuhan 3 at home to somebody nobody's heard of, and Zhejiang Professional there. Again, who knows who they're playing. Copenhagen, I don't think we can touch on really either. We don't get predicted 11s on Play Sharper, and I don't know if anyone can clarify this in the chat. Right, we do get Norway, but did we used to get Denmark on Play Sharper? Is there some sort of like
I think we
Danish Play Sharper like divide where we don't get the teams on there anymore or something?
Have a look. I swear we get it.
Because we know the Scandinavia Discord is fabled throughout Sorare live streams, So every time we come here, there's no Denmark. We do have Midtjylland, Copenhagen. They've got lots of cards, and so do a few other teams. So don't think we can really talk about that either. So it takes us straight to one of the old favourites of the deadline stream, and again, a massive stack, a massive powerhouse, but probably haven't really been delivered so far this season, and that's Benfica at home to, is it Casapia this week? Is that who that team is? Yeah, Casapia.
I think so.
So yeah,
another weird one, mate. Very strange team right now. Obviously, with their record that they probably don't want to be known for in the Champions League. Was it no wins, no goals scored, or whatever it is, in 3 games? And yeah, I'm not saying their league's dipped in the league as such, but they're not scoring that many goals in the league, really. Like they're 1-0ers here and there. Di Maria is obviously a big miss for them. Like I think he's been the shining lights probably so far for them. I think you got the winner against Porto, and I don't know. I think they're just lacking a lot up front. Peter Musa's just not it. If we're being honest, he's not. I don't think Goncalo Ramos is unbelievable, but he's Musa's very very. He's probably half a Ramos is what I would get at as far as quality goes. And I don't know if you've not got number 9 that can just score tons of goals like they've had in the past with Nunez and Ramos or whatever. I think this team just kind of struggles. Like, we've seen Kochu struggle. If we're being honest, not just SO5 wise, he's been in and out of the team, cost him his place in the Turkish team for a bit and whatever. And obviously, I'm going to be a bit biased here, but I think that the miss of not playing Flo's been a weird one. Like he's come in to certain games this season and done well, but they've just never stuck with him for more than 2 or 3 games. And I think, I'm not saying João Neves, should be dropped, because he is incredible as 19-year-old kid. They're going to want to sell him for big money. He's incredible. So I don't know how you fit them all in. That is obviously an issue. But I don't know, mate. It's just the dynamic is just not there right now. They're not free flowing. We've seen it when they had the Enzos, and when that Enzo and Flo sort of partnership was just incredible. It just allowed the strikers and the wingers to just basically do what they want and just play very freely. Obviously, no João Mario in that sort of starting 11 as well. I know he played midweek. So yeah, like Johnny just said there, Mario's struggling. I think everyone's struggling. Like there's no one really in that team, barring Di Maria, that you'd be like, okay, Otamendi, fair enough, SO5 wise. Antonio Silva's been good. We know he's a great under-23 player, but it's a weird one, mate. Just a weird team. I'm not saying they ain't gonna go and win 1-2-3-0 this weekend, but it's just been weird for them as a team,
Yeah, they're definitely not kicked on this year. You just need to look at the L15s. There's just not been enough there to get any stacks over the line as such, But this little defensive triangle, maybe he can throw Ba into there, maybe just because he's a fullback, a wee bit peakier, but it's definitely becoming quite solid. But not really, because we've not got the season cards yet. There's no Trubin, Antonio Silva. We're not seeing that develop as much yet. Maybe it's something we'll see as the season knocks out, because very, very formidable. Again, you expect this to be a clean sheet, but they've almost fallen into this realm that I see Porto in, where it's always like 1 or 2-0, and it's just the decisives. They're the bigger scores in the match, and there's nothing much beyond that. They're not too far away from that. So one to watch out for sure, because it just takes one player to catch fire, I think, and a lot of these scores dramatically change. They've not got that guy on fire at the moment, to kind of take the team up and make a lot of exciting actions happen.
Before you would full stack Benfica. Now you just defensive stacking Benfica. Like you're not touching any of their forwards, barring a Di Maria, right? So that's the dynamic that's changed. So yeah, it's weird. Maybe they get it back. Who knows? But that's sort of the top. Well, apart barring Copenhagen, top of the challenger matchups tab, and then AZ firmly just below them, who got absolutely battered. I think against Villa, didn't they? I think Sven Meinans, led as just cursed him by buying him this in the last couple of days. I think it was an error led to goal. He was dragged at halftime and he got a yellow card. So it was the triple threat for my Nans. But they got battered at home. I mean, Villa are a great team right now. They probably go and do that to anyone in Europe in that competition realistically. So that's nothing to say that like AZ aren't a good team in that sense. But the team they play in, like I follow them quite heavily, having a Magnus Madsson card for this season, who he's been absolutely incredible for me in that sort of threshold chasing lineup that I'll put out every week. And yeah, I mean, are they an 11-1 team away to AZ and NEC? I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's a weird one. Like, I'm not an expert on the Dutch league. I'm not going to pretend I am, but I do follow it. And, the way that AZ are right now, I don't know. I'm not saying they're not bad in the league, but I'd be shocked if this is a clean sheet, honestly. With Big Bastos up front, anything can happen.
That's it, man. AZ absolutely got it handed to them on a plate last night. Villa just took them to the cleaners. It was really good to see from a Villa perspective. I found it quite surprising the golf on the match day, because I wasn't too sure how to read the game personally, especially away from home. But yeah, so AZ will be reeling. I'm not too sure this will be quite as one-sided as it looks, Harry. I'm quite with you there. But SO5 wise, as we know it, who you're really playing there, you're really after about 2 or 3 guys to do their kind of upper end performance. We've then got Liverpool, which I can't really tell who they're playing against there.
I think they play Forest. I know, yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? It's like a white badge situation.
Oh, yeah, so it is. Yeah. It is a white badge situation. Yeah, it's this white tree thing. That doesn't look terribly, let's say PG. But yeah, so we've got a really strong Liverpool team here playing Forest, and I think like Gravenberch, see if we can see this start to happen. He played so well last night. Apparently, I've not seen the full game, obviously, but if we can see Gravenberch, Alex Mack, and Soboslai becoming a nailed midfield 3, then this Liverpool team could be like a real title contender that, again, I don't think anyone's really ranting and raving about quite yet.
100%. Yeah. There was question marks over that Liverpool midfield one prior to the season starting. They've strengthened, and it's taken time for Grav to kind of, work his way into, he's been doing well in the Europas and the midweeks or whatever, but he hasn't really had his chance given to him really on a weekend. And yeah, I mean, at home to Forest is probably after what happened for him last night, could be the best chance for him, couldn't it, for him to go kick on now. That's not to say he has to go score or whatever to stay in the team, but as long as he has a really good game, which I'm sure he's capable of, alongside Soboslai and Alexis McAllister, it could be a really good game for Liverpool. I foresee some big scores here. I mean, Forest aren't terrible, but like this could be big as far as SO5 goes. I really do think so.
Yeah, especially at home for them as well, because like the way Liverpool have been managing the Europa League is they've rotated very well, very good squad management. I don't look at that team the same way I would maybe like the Arsenal team perhaps, and think, oh, well, they've been playing a lot of games and, like in quick succession, internationals, midweeks, etc. I don't feel this Liverpool team quite has that burden that I would feel with some of these other teams. So yeah, I think they're maybe a wee bit underrated on this list so far. Oh, Aston Villa have got Luton. Of course they do. This could be huge.
Yeah, it has the makings of being... Yeah, it has the makings of being huge. Like, we've seen Villa smack, 6 on Brighton that one time, and this is Luton we're talking about. Like, but again, like, it's easy to say all this. It's football, isn't it? Just weird things happen sometimes. And when it's too perfect, like they just played in Europe Thursday night, when I guess obviously this game's Sunday, so they got a couple of days, but it still takes a toll on you. I don't care who you are, and no one's superhuman at the end of the day, and these sort of midweeks do take tolls on teams. That's not to say they won't go out and beat a Luton team at home, but like, do we foresee massive scores all over the board? Probably not. Like, yeah, clean sheets, got a really good chance. Watkins probably bags 1 or 2, doesn't he? And then who gets the assist? Is it a McGinn? Is it Douglas Luiz? Like, I can, you can see a nice, comfortable game for them. I can't see like a 6-0, honestly. Maybe it happens, and I'll, it's a weird one.
I'm quite aligned with the XG on this one. I can not see Villa scoring like 3 goals in this game. Like, I think Villa scored 2 or 3, like, quite comfortably. Could it be something mental? It just depends what mood they're in, I suppose, and how much Luton maybe fold over. If they're going to be starting out with a 5-2-3, which basically becomes a 5-4-1. We're not kidding anyone on here thinking they've got 3 up front. It's just a bit of a defensive press thing. So yeah, it could be a big one. And this feels like a real head-to-head stack situation. Aston Villa, who we know Villa to glory, is massively stacked at home to Luton, primo fixture, and Bayern, the whale stack at home to Darmstadt. So they'll be going a mano this week in some respects in Champ Euro perhaps. So that'll be a fun kind of leaderboard dynamic to see shake out. Good predicted team there from Aston Villa again as well. Really good cards all around. And then, Salzburg.
Yeah, me and Led had a good chat about Salzburg just because I have a couple of their players and I have to keep tabs on how they're doing, I guess. And mate, like they just don't score that well. Like the Salzburg of old isn't it? Like I'm not saying it's nowhere near in the position where Ajax are in. Don't like nowhere near. I'm not comparing them in that sense. But SO5 wise, they're in that boat where 2 years ago, year and a half ago, if you had a Salzburg stack of a couple of players, you're looking at like monster scores. And I'm not saying they've not scored well this season in specific games, but like just overall, like you just look at the L15s there. Other than Soleil, who's been injured for ages, Pavlovic as well. Like, what am I seeing? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they just don't score that well. It's as simple as that. They do not score very well on the game. But the issue is they have so many like funky under 23 players, and you're just like, oh, this is going to be this week. That was, I didn't play Gluck midweek. Why would I play him away to it Inter Milan, right? Ends up ripping off like a 76. I think that was the highest he's scored for over a year. So it's like, what chance have you got? You can't really just foresee that, unfortunately. That's just, the randomness of football. And yeah, great that he's gone and kicked on. But then that gives me a dilemma this week then, Quinny. I'm like, okay, Gluck's just done really well in the Champions League. I know they lost, whatever. But like, does he bang this week? The chances are no. Even though everything's set up, they got a really nice home fixture. The XG is lovely. It's just not. I'm just not seeing an SO5 team here. I just can't pick out a couple of players. The only ones I would pick out would be the defensive stack, Soleil and Pavlovic, honestly. I can't trust anyone else, genuinely.
I think this is the problem you get with, we're seeing this with Salzburg. I heard, I watched the show with you and Laird, thoroughly enjoyed it, by the way. I meant to say that when you mentioned it before. But with Salzburg, with Zagreb, with Ajax, this is something that if you've been, and this isn't to be rude or anything, right, but if you've been paying attention to European football, at that level for a while, it's not too uncommon that these bigger teams that utterly dominate just for a while go a bit kind of not good. They've sold all, because see the Salzburg team that was smashing, Brendan Aronson was the number 10, they had Adeyemi up front, it was a totally
Haaland
different caliber.
Like they've had really, and I'm not saying Konate won't go and do his thing elsewhere eventually, and there's some really good players here. But as a team, it just don't seem like it just didn't work. Not saying they can't win games in real life, but for SO5, I'm just not seeing the numbers aren't there. It's just as simple as that. Is it like the proof's there? Great players individually maybe, and they might go off and do their thing. But yeah, I'm not. Other than Gluck, I'm quite happy not having too many of those Salzburg cards. If I fell into a Soleil, great. If I fell into a Pavlovic, great. But other than that, it'd be hard for me to sort of believe in them in that sense. Similar to Zagreb, I know. Yeah, I know they come up quite soon, but that similar thing, like you said, dominant in their league or whatever, renowned, Austrian and then Croatian teams, but they're just not doing it right now.
No, but what I was thinking just now as we're talking about it is the kind of thing that they'll give you, because they're still going to finish first, maybe second if they do bad in their division. And if they are scoring, all their scores there are, we're saying are pretty terrible. It's just none of them are above 55. So in a way, Salzburg and Zagreb in particular, Ajax is different because they're domestic competition. If they're off it, you just need to look at the table to see where they're sitting at the moment. It's a much more, difficult league to survive in when you're not got a high quality team. So they give you a really good cap option potentially of teams that just aren't going to, they're never going to concede 3 goals against many teams, and they should win more matches than they lose, etc. So, and then if they do ever rediscover some sort of form, they get a new wonder kid or two coming through the youth ranks to complement some of the steady eddies. I think there's some good opportunities there. I do quite like that. the last poll we had, Bellingham or O'Reilly, was very, very tight, guys. We've got pushing on 120, 130. So there are scouts and managers from around the world tuning in on various channels, guys. We're very close to our 67 like goal on YouTube. As soon as we hit that, we've got 2 cards to give away and we'll get that done. So the sooner we get there, the better. If you're watching this on any platform, please do like and share it and retweet and follow and sub and, all that good stuff, guys. Support the channel and the content as much as you possibly can, and we'll do our best to keep this up. But that will bring us to so the poll finished out 59% for Bellingham, 41% O'Reilly. Wow. It was very tight for a while there, but right at the end, it did take away. And that's going to take us on to our next one, which is going to be next team on the matchups tab was Bayer Leverkusen.
The grimy debacle.
Yeah, so at home, home at Freiburg this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. So the poll's in there, guys.
Didn't they have a bad result last night? I'm sure they went 1-0 down. I didn't know whether.
Freiburg have been really struggling in recent form. I'll go and get their form up so I can quote it, but I know their form this year.
No, they won last night, to be fair. They did win in the end, but they scored 3 in literally 25 minutes. But 2 big injuries as well. Salai's out and Maximilian Philipp.
So they beat Bochum 2-1 at the weekend. But before that, Bayern had beat them heavily. They beat Augsburg, which wasn't much. Dortmund had beat them. Stuttgart had beat them very heavily. Yeah, they had some okay form in the first 3 games. Oh no, they're friendlies, I think. Yeah, one of the friendly. First 2 games were good, and then very heavy defeats on a few occasions to the bigger teams. So that kind of tells you maybe Leverkusen, they're top of the league. So like if Stuttgart score 5, if Bayern score a lot, if Dortmund score a lot, then we're expecting Leverkusen score a lot in this game, don't we?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're on flames right now, aren't they? As a team, it's just funny. As I know they've got a great manager and whatever, and we could wax lyrical about that all day and whatever. But you just look at those raw numbers, L15s. In a league where it's just much harder to be the best team in that sense, or a very good team.
Yep.
With your Bayerns, Dortmunds, etc., etc. And then you've got Salzburg in their league, who should be absolutely romping it, really, shouldn't they? We should see this should be Salzburg's L15s and L5s, realistically. But we realize that it's not as easy as that, and one has Xavi Alonso as their manager, and there's obviously quality difference in players. They're all the obviouses, but mate, it's just great to see. I'm just happy to see that that's Bayer Leverkusen's team right now, and that's how usable they are, because they've been in the shadows for a while. If we're being completely honest, they've not been an apex team to one. Hradecky is never he was literally the worst. When I owned him, he was when I was playing Champ Europe and I decided not to because I couldn't really afford to play in that sense and do well. He was literally the only card I could get as a goalie. Realistically, it was just him. And he was the budget option at the time. And now I'm not saying his scores are incredible, but just having him as part of the stack and whatever, it's just he's in, everyone wants him. It's nice to see, because there's some absolute, incredible players there. Not just under 23, but just Palacios has come out of his shell massively and had a chance. Xhaka, I know he gave away a pen last night, but he's been great. Obviously moving from the Prem, and Hoffman's just completely gone to another level realistically, because you could think his scores at Gladbach were because he was the main guy, right? Where he's in a team now where there's multiple main guys and he's still doing it, which is really nice to see.
Hoffman's been somebody was saying to me, I think it may have been last week's stream, they were talking about Diaby and Frimpong and that, but I think Frimpong and Hoffman's been sensational. Diaby's been great for Villa, right? But I've not always been totally sold on Diaby. But when you watch Frimpong and Hoffman, man, they are both engines up and down that right-hand side. They're both two people in their work rate, attacking and defensively. But yeah, great to see that they're riding high. And we've got a comment here from Mickey Fu on the screen. If you did watch, I watched Leverkusen against Qarabag last night. That was my 8 o'clock fixture of choice on the channel with the crap commentary and all that. But it was electric last night. 3 assists and a goal. That's Qarabag, right? Whatever. But he's getting tuned up again. He's kind of off a bit of form. And a game like that is a huge springboard for a player like Wirtz. So I think that this is, you know what you're going to get from Leverkusen at this point of the season. Freiburg did do well last year. They did qualify for Europe, but no Flecken. And did they sell somebody else? Maybe, I'm not so sure. But, like as I said, the big teams have scored a lot of goals, and I could see that happening again. Don't know if they'll keep a clean sheet in Leverkusen, but a great game.
Yeah, it should be an attacking, sort of free-flowing game, both running similar formations. So, yeah, it should be interesting to see how it plans out. I'd be shocked if Leverkusen don't score a couple. And I'd also be shocked if they kept a clean sheet, if I'm being honest, because, yeah, the Freiburg team, Griffo's been on fire, to be fair. They've got some good players, so, yeah. The Hincap situation, yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I rate him. I think he's a great sort of left centre-half / left back or whatever, but they just got some good centre-halves. Kosanu's been good this year where he wasn't really last year, or, for whatever reason. Tar's always been pretty solid, and Tapsoba's always been a good card to have on Sorare / he's always been he's just a good centre half, hasn't he? He's been touted to leave so many sort of transfer windows and never left, which is interesting. So yeah, that's probably been a downfall of Hincap, but he's younger, so he's a couple of years younger. He's got time, he can definitely not afford, but he can unfortunately afford to not maybe play as much this season, kick on next year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think Hincap is really good. He's just kind of suffered from the fact that, like you say, some of these guys have just really kicked on, and I think he was kind of injured early season, and that's just an uphill battle for some people, But by the way, thank you very much, Padagool. He's gifted 5 memberships, 5 season tickets at £1 a month to 5 people in the chat for the second week in a row. And he said he promised it because we picked Taki Kubo last weekend and he didn't start. And we were chatting on Twitter, and I was like, he's still good for a 70 from the bench. And he done the business off the bench, didn't he? And so he said if he did, he would be back for the stream to support us. So thanks very much for that, mate. And glad to see it came in. And thanks again. And glad to see 5 people have taken them up. And we'll see you guys along with, I think there's 5 memberships gifted away last week. So a lot of great members getting involved. But at 50 likes, guys, once we get to 67, we've got 2 cards to give away. We're at 10 to 2. We're at 70 minutes away to the deadline. That was Leverkusen and Freiburg, another hugely popular fixture, I'm sure, this week. And then we do get on to Zagreb, who we've kind of spoken about in third person or third party terms until now. But yeah, they're at home to Lokomotiva Zagreb. So I'm pretty sure this derby's got a really cool name. I cannot remember what it is. If anyone does remember, please do drop it in the chat. But we're running the poll at the moment. Frimmers or Grimmy, who would you be taking? Frimpong or Grimaldo in that Leverkusen at home at Freiburg fixture? Let us know.
Yeah, Dynamo, man. An interesting one as well. Again, start of the season, everyone touted them to be one of the big, big challenger stacks, realistically. And for good reason, like, the most dominant team in their league, blah, 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 blah. Like, they're not going against the grain in that sense. It's kind of an obvious thing. But in reality, there's been goalkeeper changes. I know they've had a few. Petrovic got injured, and just things have not gone their way potentially. But like the Baturina one's mad. Like I don't think he had a decisive in like a stupid amount of games. Like I don't know what he had, like a 40 AA in one of them, which was a good game. But other than that, he's struggled big time compared to last season. I think that rings true again with something me and Led talked about, was just like you just cannot go off what happened last season on Sorare in football in real life. Like football moves so fast, like you blink and things have just changed considerably, and players might still be playing for the same team, but that does not mean that the situation is the same as far as what their scores are going to be and stuff. Never mind getting into when players change team. That's obviously a whole different kettle of fish. But yeah, just not the Zagreb of what we've sort of been used to. There's still some good scorers in there. Misic and Peric, sorry. Dino Peric. There's some good scorers there for sure. But like that goalkeeper situation doesn't look fun. I wouldn't want my goalkeeper on 60%. I can tell you that for free.
Yes, that is definitely that's the kind of territory where that Nanzo rule applies, because that's the kind of returning from injury percentage. If you see that, hey, step away, go get somebody else. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely don't like to see 60%.
He played the last game, but didn't play the game before that. So I'm interested to see, like, did they win their last game? Is what I'd be interested to see, because like if they didn't, then that's kind of why I'd be like, okay, well, fair. That might be why he's on a 60. But I can't really think of another reason why. Yeah, there's doubt there. So yeah, interesting one. Well, Cavallini's an under 23 goalkeeper, so let's see how, if he can keep out, Dynamo Zagreb in that sense, and might be on for a big score if he doesn't concede 3. So yeah, interesting for sure.
And then, wow, And I remember you and Laird, I think, just maybe discussing this. I may be misremembering, but yeah, PSV are up there in the top 20 fixtures or so. And
Maybe
their
less.
opponent,
Yeah, less.
oofed. How the mighty have fallen.
Top 11 if you take out the 2 Chinese clubs.
Top 11 fixtures this game week is PSV, one of the best teams to back this weekend, and they're at home to the mighty Ajax. Will they try and rage quit this week, Harry? What do we think against this PSV team? Will they start and throw flares on the pitch? What will they do?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's just shocking to see. Honestly, have you seen all the comments of all the Ajax boys, what they said about the game last night against Brighton? Like, all of them were like, oh, yeah, we just have to be realistic. Like, we were never going to beat Brighton and stuff. And it's like, okay, you can like think it, but you can't come out and say any of this. Like, realistically, like it just feels like the club is in an absolute like shit show right now. I'm not an Ajax fan. There might be someone in the chat. I hope there is. But like the things that happen with like the agents, which I mentioned with Laird and like with Bonus Sosa, like there's just so many things have happened. Technical directors leaving, managers being sacked, multiple. Like, I don't know, man. It's just an absolute shit show. I think ever since Tadic left, like, and how he left, like, you know, like when they didn't really give him like an actual, like a leaving video and stuff, he literally was just like, cheers for the time, lads. Like, all the best. I'm off to Fenerbahce. Like, you could just tell something eerie is going on here. Like, something weird's going on behind the scenes. And yeah, man, it's just, yeah, it's frightening, genuinely.
Yeah, it's definitely a concerning situation if you're an Ajax supporter or backer of any kind. But yeah, they're definitely not a mug team. The XG on this but just has PSV just running over them and getting more goals in them, basically. Ajax should score 1, maybe 2, and they're expecting PSV to probably score 3, if not maybe a wee bit more. Decent chance for a clean sheet for PSV, but almost 40%, you know, so like they're not backing the likes of Brobbey and Bergwijn and Carlos Borges to really open them up and do much. So yeah, really interesting to see that's the 11th fixture of the game week, and PSV have been on incredible form, so I'm sure that plays a huge part in it. As we approach 120, 130, so their scouts and managers from around the world, guys, we're very close to that 67 like goal on YouTube, so get us pushing there and we'll do the card giveaway. We want to do it before the deadline. And yeah, Callum Carter, Davidson, I beg your pardon, is with us on that one. It should be a bit of an attack fest, that game, more than anything. Forward expected score there's 32. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's nuts. Mickey just said in the chat then, Gabriel Jesus looks like he could be out for a few weeks. So,
oh really?
Adjust lineups. Yeah, apparently that's what Arteta said.
Okay, well, I'll be needing to swap that before we go then. No way this match gets suspended. Behind nets and plastic windows.
Wow.
Brilliant. What a save into.
That's Love class. That. Cheers, Sorare, Holland. Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, next we'll skip the Brazilian league, I think. Big Ana Valencia's doing his job at International, I think. But yeah, Atletico Madrid. I want to call them your boys, but your boys played these boys, so you know they're like your adopted boys, aren't they?
Yeah. And yeah, pretty. You know, it's good to see them in the flesh. It's good to see Griezmann up close and personal. Like he's proper elite, man. Like really stands out, like Modric style. When we seen Real Madrid last season, just that top end. He just rips out him. And you know, when I seen this team, I was like, oh cool, some of my cards should start. Riquelme and Llorente. This is a really good game at home to Alaves, and you know, Atletico Madrid were good against Celtic. And yeah, like it's clear to see when these two guys came on, they just added so much pace into Atletico Madrid. So I can see why they're probably opting to start them this weekend, because Alaves will probably sit in a bit more than Celtic did, give Atleti more space to attack with, and should probably score. They scored 2 against us. They should probably score 3 or 4 against this mob, you'd like to think. On paper, certainly, anyway. So, yeah, good game. And generally, you expect Atletico to keep the clean sheet. Obviously, Celtic scored 2 against them, but generally, you don't expect them to concede 3, at least, anyway. That's kind of the job of the keeper. If he's not going to keep your clean sheet, don't concede 3, you know. That's the next goal that we hope for.
I did not know Hadji was playing for these, by the way.
Oh, did you not? Have you still got one? No, did you have one? No.
Yeah. No, I just, obviously, the Rangers, wasn't he? But I don't remember him. I can't recall seeing his face for a long time, actually.
Aye, because he had old Belgian cards, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Samu is probably getting allowed to play because they want him to have minutes. So this guy Samu was signed by Atletico Madrid from Granada or something, and now he's there on loan. But it's kind of protracted out. I think the guy needs the minutes, so they're probably just letting him do it. We'll see how it goes. But maybe that's something to watch out for, Rico, man. Maybe this is something that whoever's did the teams didn't forecast. So maybe that's something to double check. But he doesn't have a card, so I don't think anyone's really going to be hurt by that one. And I didn't actually realise until I watched the highlights back that Llorente was the assist maker for the equaliser for 2 each. So I got to see Llorente do something in front of me. And I was thinking, somebody was chatting mad shit about Llorente recently. I can't remember who it was. Do you remember who it was?
I don't know. I mean,
it was somebody in next video.
He was probably right because he was on the duty again. So, some things don't change, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe you, Harry.
You.
And then we've got Rangers against Hearts. Interesting.
Yeah, how do you
we'll
feel?
Put that on screen for the Hearts lovers in the room.
Mugs, are they?
No, not at all. No midweek football for Hearts, but Rangers played last night, and I'm thoroughly. I didn't see the game, but I was speaking to my Rangers supporting friend, who also wasn't watching the game. He was a bit busy, and he was telling me that it sounds like Rangers are getting their asses handed to them. So I don't even know what the score was, to be honest with you, as we're talking right now. But I don't think they had a good night last night. And at home to Hearts is not going to be an easy bounce back opportunity for them. I know Celtic did just beat them 4-1, but Rangers are definitely not in the same space as Celtic at the moment.
They drew 0-0 last night, to be fair.
0-0? Oh, that's a good result, I suppose, considering the feedback I was getting. Fair enough.
Away from home.
Clean sheet away from home. Yeah, decent, man. Take that. Not scoring goals isn't good, but it is what it is. And Hearts are a really good. Hearts are a Sorare favourite of sorts. They're kind of like that Aston Villa stack, the 20 stack that never happened. A lot of people really like the Hearts squad. There's a lot of good pieces here, but it just doesn't feel like you ever see Hearts stacks or you ever see Hearts stacks reigning if they do exist. But Shanklin scores against anyone in the league. Lowry is on loan from Rangers, so I'm not sure if he does play again. No cards. I don't think it affects anyone. And then Kingsley in the team. Forrest to play, maybe Oda. So yeah, Rangers Hearts. I think that's a good game for Rangers.
And then we get into a bit of Universitario. Obviously in Peru, Fenerbahce away if we want to go.
Well, look at Universitario for 2 seconds, just because. Let's not do dirty. Let's get their team out there.
No, we won't. Fair enough.
There you go. If anyone was after it, we've done it. Don't know anything about it.
Isn't their league coming to a close quite soon?
No idea, but
maybe. Let me have a look.
They're expected to thoroughly hump this team. So,
it's last game of the season, as I say it. But I don't know if it splits off, so someone can inform me if it does. I'm sure it does because they've only played 17 games. Would be 18. I don't know. Maybe
it's one of those split situations.
Yeah, could be a split up for sure.
We've got Fenerbahce, and there's also a comment asking if we've done Gala. So we'll just do Gala after Fener, just since they're here, for convenience for anyone tuning into the deadline show. But we have Fenerbahce away to Pendikspor. And Pendikspor have some okay players at a glance there, in midfield certainly. Don't know about much of the rest of them. But the Fenerbahce team looks pretty good. The man Tadic we're talking about there, the Stardust man, along with Dzeko up front, with Szymanski in behind. Really strong looking Fenerbahce team. And this is a team that gets stacked. But
I was going to say,
have we seen them smash? I think it's the defence that's maybe missing, isn't it?
Potentially, obviously, Livakovic has been signed. So, I'd argue if Ferdy didn't have a defensive card now, it didn't feel like many people were stacking, the other three players. But now that Ferdy does have a defensive card, I think that changes things for sure. But like you said, it is mainly the forwards. And if you put your eggs in that Fenerbahce basket, start of the season, I think you've not been surprised maybe, but people would have gone, okay, it's Zagreb or Fenerbahce. And a lot would have probably went with Dynamo cards, and unfortunately, it was the Fener boys that you should have been, invested in that sense. I know it's easy to say that, hindsight's, easy to do, but I don't know. There's some big cards here. This is worrisome for the Challenger boys and whatever. Never mind them being away. I don't think it matters too much. This Fener team score goals, and Szymanski, Tadic, Dzeko is some big SO5 cards there.
Yeah, big time. And then Galatasaray are away. Let's see if I can find their name. Yeah, there we go. Away to Kakur. No, it's Rizespor. They're away to Rizespor. And they've got John Joe Shelby in midfield, Adolfo Gaich up front, who's like one of these guys who's just like a man mountain, if you've ever seen him play. But Shelby, that's interesting. I think that surprised us all, Harry, didn't it?
Yeah, I did not expect Shelby to be there at all, to be honest. Is he on sets? He's got to be on sets, haven't he? Let me check.
Oh, he must be, yeah.
Let's have a look.
Cardi is on a 45% on this one. Also, we have a midweek hangover potentially. It's also away from home. So that'll be interesting. Maybe it frees up an international spot for someone else to play, maybe Davison Sanchez or something. Maybe that's the tactics they're doing here. But they're expecting to play Zaha and Tete in wide attacking spots, which could be, both of those guys could be mad high scoring, guys that win duels, high pace, attempted assists, and then also a couple of decisives if they're capable of it. It could be a mad game for Gala. It's away from home, so it's a wee bit not quite as clear cut.
Just looking in the chat then, sorry, Holland struggling for his under 23 lineup, Zorgan or Foden. I'd have to say Zorgan or Zorgane, however we're going to pronounce it. Eupen are obviously horrendous. But Zorgan didn't start the last game. I know he came back from international duty in Algeria or something, so, read into that what you will. And they Charleroi beat whoever they played last game 3-2, I believe. So do they change a team to bring in Zorgan? I don't know. But if they do, I'd be shocked if he didn't score as well as Foden. So yeah, I would go with Zorgan to clear that one up.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And then I was just thinking, who was the next one again? But we've lost it. And I don't know if we get predicted scores for them anymore. Or we do. But we've got Zenit.
Who's that, Zenit? Yeah.
We've got them here.
I don't know, Zenit. I think
Zenit are in that category with the Zagrebs and everything. That they're the dominant team in a small division,
That and like attacking wise, like I think this when we talk about stacks, it just feels like it's just ringing true for like defensive situations. Like I'm just worrying. I'm not, Wendell actually scored a couple last game, but like as far as like forwards go, I don't know. I just feel like Zenit, other than like Santos, Wendell, who else are you really bringing in to a lineup realistically? I know there's not many else who have cards, but like I don't know. I don't know how good that Ivan Sergeyev or however you pronounce it. I don't know how good he's been / not been, but it's just like Wendell it's just Wendell and Santos. I don't think you'd be looking to bring in anyone else, to be honest.
Yeah, fair. Crystal, we won't talk about. But then Leeds at home at Huddersfield. That could be good. There's a lot of Leeds cards going about that people like, Harry, isn't there?
Yeah. This was one of the bigger fixtures on the second division. Like if we filter by second division, I think Leeds come up top, to be honest. I can't remember how Leeds did in the midweek. I know they rotated a couple of players. I don't think they had the best of times. Let me have a look. I think that was it. Bamford missed a pen. They lost 1-0 to Stoke, Quinny, right? And Stoke are 17th now, but I think they were 20th at the time before the win. And yeah, they didn't start Somerville. There was a few situations that were a bit different, but yeah, Bamford missed a pen. But I don't think that takes much away from this fixture. I was saying like Cardiff beat Huddersfield 4-0 midweek, I think it was. So like if Cardiff can do that to Huddersfield, I think Leeds should be smashing them, to be honest. So yeah, this is an interesting one for SO5, definitely.
Yeah, Huddersfield have got a bunch of cards. I don't know if this is maybe Ultimate Champions, maybe actually or something, but there's a lot of faces there. But yeah, Leeds looking pretty good as well. Some good players. Ampadu, Perot, Somerville, like you say, Rutter on to start this one. Good team there for sure. And then it's Leicester right behind them. Very equal rated fixture, it seems.
Yeah, QPR struggling big time. And Leicester obviously top of the league and flying. So yeah, those indicator scores are massive, aren't they? All green, almost dark green, I think it was, barring one. Such a good team, mate, honestly. They've got some wicked players there. Fatau, I think he actually has cards because he was at Sporting. He has like a couple cards. 19, really decent. Obviously, Dewsbury Hall's been ridiculous, being like the standout there. Winks has been decent as well. The defense has been good. Obviously, pity you can't get the goalkeeper. Yeah, so like that's sort of always gonna limit them as being a stackable team. But there's definitely like a Dewsbury Hall I know Vardy's 50-50, so you might not want to take that risk, but like, you know, there's a couple players here that you're going to see in big lineups. Like people will probably stack like, I don't know, Fenerbahce 3 cards, and then they'll have like a Drewsbury Hall in there, and they'll have whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like Drewsbury Hall will be in a lot of big lineups, I would say, or has been in a lot of big lineups, like standalone on his own, because he just seems to just absolutely crush every week.
Yeah. A lot of good scores here, as you say. Good squad behind the options as well, potentially. But it's all Hamza Chowdhury, really. Wilfred Ndidi, the forward options, but there was a lot of guys there, like Daka could come back. Akdun, I see there as well. Iheanacho behind Vardy. You know, there's a lot of options in this Leicester team. So yeah, good quality team. And even though they're away from home, they should do the business. I think we finish on, we'll probably do Besiktas Leipzig. Is there anything beyond that, Harry?
Well, not outside of obviously El Clasico and stuff. So it's depends what you.
So Besiktas, if anyone wants to have a peek, we'll put them up. So they're at home. Maybe quite an underrated fixture, by the way. They're at home to Gaziantep. Gaziantep don't really. Lazar Markovic, formerly of Liverpool. That's funny. Alexandru Maxim, I think he's been around a while. And I don't think there's anyone else.
Dragus, he played for Standard Liège for a bit. Yeah.
Is he good?
I don't know. I don't think he's great, but I think he's okay. It does seem like a sneakishly good fixture, doesn't it?
Yeah, it could be handy if you've got the right cards. It's just that their form doesn't look amazing, does it? But when they're at home against a team like that, it's maybe when they come to deliver. And then we had Leipzig there, who are at home to Cologne. Cologne are like quite close to the bottom. Leipzig are in pretty good form.
16th. Yeah, pretty low.
This is a great question, which we'll get to actually as well. Me and Harry have got a few things we're going to talk about after these predicted 11s, and I guess I'll throw that in as well. Pardon me. But we'll look at Leipzig because they're at home at Cologne, who are 16th in the league. Leipzig in a wee bit of an ascendancy at the moment, it feels like. Xavi Simon's on fire at the midweek. I know it was a bit of a weaker opponent, but really good to see. Guys, we're only on 57 likes. Get involved in the poll. Frimmy or Grimmers, or Frimmers or Grimmy. And we need 10 more likes, guys, and we'll be giving away some cards. We're not getting the lineups. It's always remember at the end of the lineup segment almost.
Yeah,
there we go.
On us, doesn't it?
So here's the Leipzig team for anyone that wants it. Poulsen on 60% over Sesko. I do find that surprising. Baumgartner on to start over Forsberg. Klosterman over Hendricks probably still, and Schlager over Haidara is probably expected. And Cologne, Waldschmidt, Kynes, Martel. There's a few guys here that can play football pretty good. Paquadra, but they've just not been doing well this season, it seems. And yeah, I think this could be a good Leipzig game, potentially.
Yeah, it feels like it. Definitely. Yeah, like you said, Xavi Simon's on fire midweek. I'm sure you'll hopefully continue that this weekend.
Yeah, let's hope so. And so you mentioned El Clasico there, Harry, right? The big game on Saturday is El Clasico, and it kicks off at 3:15, right? Now, as you know, if you're in the UK, you've got this like archaic rule that because they want football fans to go to football games at all levels, all parts of the pyramid, which we get, right? But because of that, you can't broadcast any football on TV in the UK. So it's a bit of a nightmare, right? And for UK games, to keep fans going to their local clubs, I kind of get it, right? But El Clasico is like easily the biggest game of the weekend, definitely the biggest game of the day on Saturday, and it kicks off at 3:15. So it's maybe a problem for me and you, Harry, and maybe some of the Sorare scouts and managers from around the world that are in the UK as well. But this is a bit of a sore one. You know, we don't get to actually watch any good football at 3:00.
Yeah, it's gutting, mate, to be honest, isn't it? It's such a weird rule. But yeah, I mean, massive game. Just like probably one of the not first times, but in recent times, one of the most exciting sort of El Clasicos, I think, with the dominance of Bellingham and how he's sort of come through, I think, in these last couple of weeks for them. And yeah, it's just an interesting narrative to kind of get stuck into, isn't it? How good is he going to do on the biggest stage in that league? You know, like we've seen him do it week in, week out over the last couple of weeks, months, whatever. And even in the Champions League, which is obviously a massive stage as well. But this is the game to do it, isn't it? Like, if he arrives on Saturday, Bellingham, it's like, okay, wow. Like, we know we've got a superstar, but this could, like, he's taken it to heights where, like, it's just becoming incomparable, isn't it? Almost if he does, do the business again. That doesn't necessarily have to be a goal or whatever, but just how does he perform? I know it's going to be annoying not being able to watch it for the masses in that sense, but yeah, I think it's going to be a big occasion for him.
Yeah, because it feels like El Clasico for like the world-class players in these teams, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Their first El Clasico, or the El Clasicos in their first season, can really like define them, in a lot of different ways. The Real Madrid predicted lineup that are going to, this isn't going to be in the new camp. This is in, I forget what it's called, but they're in their like B team stadium, which is just down the road or something. So it's going to be a different El Clasico atmosphere, venue wise as well. So Real Madrid will be showing up looking like this probably. Camavinga's here at 80%, but I'm pretty sure I read this morning that Camavinga's not playing in this game. I'm pretty sure I read that this morning. So please do, if you have a Camavinga, go and double confirm that. But I'm fairly confident Camavinga's not playing. When was the last time this was updated? Does it tell us? Wednesday for Real Madrid. So yeah, this is not up to date. Camavinga won't play this game. I can tell you that for free. Rodrigo probably expected to start this one, I think. And like you say, so with Bellingham, I think going away in this kind of situation, like if he runs the game, maybe doesn't score the goal, like you say, I probably expect he would, but because of the sort of guy he is. But if he really like puts his foot down on this game and really wins it, because Barcelona at the moment are getting into a bit of a form. Xavi is starting to find a bit of a groove with them. They've struggled with injuries. They've struggled with keeping their best team on the pitch. But there's things for both teams to actually be really excited about for the first time in a while. Normally it's either Barca are still doing okay and Real Madrid are re-identifying them or rediscovering themselves, or Real Madrid are kicking on winning Champions Leagues and everything, and Barca are losing Messi and losing this guy, and Dembele's playing video games till 1 o'clock in the morning, and all the stuff that's been on over the last couple of years, financial fair play and everything else. So it feels like the first time where both clubs are moving upward, and it should be a real kind of clash of the Titans. Yeah,
it's an interesting one with Barca. Like, you look at that starting 11, like there's just not that many massive names there. Like, you mentioned, like the Messi, the MSN era, and for Real Madrid, you had the Benzema era, Ronaldo even further, with Bale and whatever. And it's just like, we're just in a new era of football, I guess. And, you could argue their team overall is maybe not better, but there's quality everywhere, obviously, right? But there's just so many like emerging stars that, shouldn't really be paying that. Fermin Lopez, who's looking to start, who's been exceptional since coming into the side. I think he couldn't get a sniff for like the B team a couple months ago, and now he's scoring goals in the Champions League and stuff. So just shows how quickly football changes and stuff. And yeah, it's interesting. Like, I don't love the look of that Barca front three as far as like, can that front three go and shock Real Madrid with their experience they have at the back? I don't know. Like, it's a big test. It's a massive test for them. No Pedri. There's still some sort of big players missing from that Barca team, and Real Madrid are basically full strength. Like you said, it does look like Mendy is going to get the nod at left back. The difference, the sort of flip could be it's either Rodrigo or Camavinga, basically, is what it's looking like. Not like Camavinga up front, but it's either Bellingham would like go further up, and they would bring Camavinga into that middle sort of box or whatever they want to call it, the diamond, and help out there and stuff. So yeah, there's so many little nuances to get stuck into. I don't know. I'm honestly going to stick my neck out and say the Real Madrid might cause an upset here with the form of Bellingham. I just think defensively they're just a little bit more resolute, and I just think what Barca possess up front, I just don't know if it's going to, threaten that back four too much. I don't love Mendy, but the other three are just so solid for me, and like, I don't know. I think Barcelona have to work really hard to get some goals here, albeit at home. But I do see, I do see Real Madrid nicking it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be really fun to watch. Ancelotti versus Xavi in terms of the dugout. It's classic Real Madrid, Barca tactics, stakes, and the style of play that we should see from both of them, because Barca will need to play 1,000 passes to open them up, but they'll be prepared to do that, and they'll be right up for it. We were at 67 likes, guys, on my screen, but now it says 66. So I don't know if I said something that upset you, but we were about to give away a card and now we're not. So if you've not liked the stream yet, get us over the line, eh? But yeah, that was El Clasico, guys. So it should be a good one. And we'll try and all watch it as legally as we possibly can if we're in the UK. And if you're around the world, it's probably going to be the highlight game of the weekend, I think. But one of our questions that was coming in there, Harry, was around Celtic. Okay, so not on the matchups tab there is one of the best games of the week, although we're playing 9th in the table, Hibs. I think this could be kind of like Hearts last weekend. Like we can still win like 4-1 or something, maybe not the clean sheet, but Hibs have got, the 11 football players that will play, and fine. And then Celtic, McBride, who does this, he's went with Paolo Bernardo in here. Rio Tati came off with a hamstring injury. Someone's quoted the chat as saying, Brendan said in the press conference today that it'll be a couple of weeks. I think that's expected with a hamstring injury as a minimum. So at least it's not longer than that, is the good news. And this is the way I take it. And I think that is the only spot where you would think about who's going to play in there. I think it's going to be Iwata or Turnbull before I think it's Bernardo. And I don't think it's going to be Turnbull. So I think it's going to be Iwata, if you get me. So the reason I say that is I think like it was quite clear that you miss a lot of energy from Hatate when you play Bernardo next to O'Reilly. And Iwata, like I know he's not played much or whatever, but number one, we do own him. And number two, he's the closest guy to Hatate in the squad. Or even if you played Iwata in the defensive position and you let McGregor do the Hatate role, for example, I could see that happening. So I think Iwata's going to start this game personally. It's not a play that I don't think you could build a game week around or your lineups around necessarily. But if you have a Paolo Bernardo, again, I don't think this has huge consequences for anyone out there. I think the rest of the players are the cards most people are after, but just my 2 cents, I think it will be Iwata that will play in midfield from the start. And I think Celtic could have a really good game in this one. I think we could, very similar scores to last week, certainly, in terms of 3-1, 4-1, 4-0, hopefully. Something like that. So, yeah, could be a good one.
Yeah, do you want to pop into the United City situation?
Yeah, so I was... Sorry, let me have a wee drink. I'm losing my voice, guys. Sorry. Excuse me. But yeah, when I was looking through the fixtures for the weekend, and also I seen that the big game was, El Clasico, and we weren't able to watch it. I was like, okay, well, what's happening Sunday? And Sunday, there's tons of Premier League football. Italian football is a bit better on Sunday as well. But if El Clasico is, for me, it's the number one game of the weekend. But number two would have to be the Manchester derby. We've got Man City versus Man United. And this is always a game that, it's at Old Trafford on this occasion, but this is always a game that has some sort of narrative going along it of what club is better, what club is bigger, who's in form, who's going to win the title. And that conversation is going to change quite a lot over the last 10 years. And it's at a really interesting point right now. Obviously, Man City just winning the treble last year, reigning supreme, dominating for fun. And Man United maybe on the cusp of re-signing David De Gea. I don't know if you've heard that, Harry. Maybe on the cusp of this. So they're going from Harry Maguire back in the team, and I know he's getting praised and all that stuff again as well. But yeah, this is going to be a Manchester derby that is definitely going to have a lot of headlines running through it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the narrative changed so much over the years, hasn't it, for obvious reasons and stuff. And yeah, I mean, those United players, if I'm a United player, I'm terrified to go play City. I know you're playing them in your back garden, but like, yeah, it's just going to be a long day, I think. Really long, the strength of City's squad, like, you see, Doku will start, midweek, and then you'll probably have to face up against a Grealish this weekend. It's like all the best. Like, there's just so much quality, bench, 11, whatever it is, to where, like, it's just not going to matter. I just think, I don't think it don't matter where Man City or play United. I just can't see anything than a Man City romping. Genuinely, I just think they have far too much quality and too much of a good form. And United on like the complete opposite of that. Like they're just scraping through situations. And I know this is going to go against what I'm saying now, but sometimes that goes for you as a team because like you're just digging in and you just find some way. I'm not saying they'll find a way to win, but they might find a way to nick a draw. Like, I think that's the best case for United, if I'm being completely honest, is a draw. I just don't see how City don't win this game, And the United team, they've just not found a groove. And I think, you saying that re-signing De Gea is on the cards and stuff, it's just like, that just epitomizes United, doesn't it? You got Sancho, he can't eat his cornflakes with the boys. and then they're bringing back De Gea. It's just like a reality TV show, and
It's crazy, isn't it?
These are football. It's a football club first and foremost. They need to go out and win games. Is not create headlines. And I think regardless of what happens, there's always going to be headlines at United, but they're just for the wrong reasons too often. It's not because they've played well or they're in great form. It's always this guy's doing that, and the manager's thinking this, and Onana's done that, and it's just always a controversy. And I don't know. I just think Man City are far too focused on what they need to do, and that's just go out and win games of football. They're just doing their job, in that sense. So I don't know. I think Man City win here all day long for me.
I'm totally with Glenn Hoddle here in the chat as well. I think this is a game that is going to send Man United fans into a spiral because, I know he scored the goal, right? But Man United only just beat Copenhagen. Copenhagen, when that group was made, everyone expected to get 0 points. And I know they played okay against Bayern Munich for 10, 20 minutes or something, right? But Man United only just beat them by a penalty save and a Harry Maguire goal. You couldn't write it. And having confidence in players that are not good enough. And then when you're playing a team like this Man City team that's just won the treble and are signing players like Doku and hoping to kick on this season, and Guardiola we could put into that equation as well, this could be... Because again, Pep, City, they love to really twist the nut in this fixture. That's just the way I always feel anyway. So Bernardo's back, Foden's in town, Rodri's obviously living life there now, and Alvarez, Doku, Haaland is, I know Haaland's not really been firing as much this year, maybe, but he's still doing the business overall. But this team is, and even Stones over the last couple of weeks has been incredible. This team is it's bulletproof, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to find a flaw, genuinely. It was funny, I was having a conversation with my mate last night about Haaland, and we were like, I was like, yeah, maybe he's gone off the boil a little bit. And I looked, he just didn't score for 3 games, Quinny. It was mad. I know. That's the new, it's nuts. And then he scored 3 and 2 recently. Before that, scored for Norway. And it's just it's just funny how, how fickle we are in football, I guess. And then if somebody doesn't score for a couple of games of the quality of an Erling Haaland, we just think they've, not had a good start of the season. That's just crazy how how it feels. But reality is it's going to be a long, long day, I think, for United.
Yeah, and that's the big game on Sunday. And Sunday there's tons of football because there's how much European football the English teams are exposed to at the moment. Wednesdays, Thursday kickoffs kind of spill into then a Sunday game domestically. So it's going to be a really good weekend of football. This is going to be the main game on the Sunday. I think it is a matter of how many goals for City. And I think, like we mentioned earlier in the show, there is a lot of high-scoring games already this season, and this could be like a headline scoreline, Guys like Doku, Alvarez, Foden, they're out there to make their name in a fixture like this as well. And City really want to get back top of the league and kind of stay in there again, and this is a big fixture for that. So I'm going to go with 5-0 City because I'm bold.
Wow. That'd be a statement. I can't say it's not out of the realm. It can definitely happen, in a semi-realistic way, unfortunately for United fans. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think 3-0's. I don't see United scoring. Genuinely, I can't see it. And I see City scoring a couple at least. So yeah, 3-0 is my not so bold prediction, I guess.
Fair. Good to see. Let us know, guys, if you're in the chat. Any score predictions? We've surpassed the lake goal, Harry boy. So we've got a couple of cards to give away. We're at that point in the stream. We're fast approaching the deadline. It's only half an hour away or so. So we'll get to it as quick as we can. But SR Monkey, first of all, has donated a card which we will give away. See, will we do it in the live chat or will we do the Twitter thing, Harry? What do you think?
I don't know. How many have we got on the live chat? I can't see the numbers personally. But
we've got about 120 Sorare scouts and managers in the YouTube live chat. Let's do it to them.
Yeah, I would do it to them. Yeah, I think they're the most loyal to the cause, aren't they, for sure?
We've got a 3D Yarna Stickers. Now, Monkey gave me a great write-up on this guy, and he's a big believer in him. So this is a handy card. L15, is that, or L5? Yeah, L1555. I think he's taking some set pieces and stuff, and this guy is an emerging talent, in SR Monkey's opinion, and that is a guy that knows his onions, So we'll give this guy away to you. I'm not too sure who St Truden are playing this game week, but I don't think they ever have a good game. So I think this guy is just one of those guys you just play him if you can, and hopefully you catch one of these good scores. So, okay, how about this? Okay, I've got a question, right? And this is going to be, okay. I need to go and get the answer. Harry boy, can you talk about something for a second while I go and work this out?
Yeah, I was just looking on Twitter. I think Good Day Pikachu. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but I know he mentioned in the chat quite early on in the stream that he won under 23 rare this midweek. I'm just looking at his team now on screen. Well, it's not on screen, but yeah, first 446 points. Bazunu, Fuji, Verts, Xavi Simon's captain, and Gabriel Martinelli as his striker. Massive congrats there, mate. That's a big star rare coming your way. Hopefully you get a Haaland, mate. That'd be unbelievable. I know it's midweek, so you've got to taper your expectations a little bit, but yeah, massive congrats there if you're still in the chat. If not, then I'm just speaking to nobody. Mickey says my under 23 limited series could use that. Ooh, Quinny, yeah. Do you want to fix this so I can win it?
What's this?
I could do with that. Well,
oh, really?
I do my road to. Well, I mean, yeah, I need all the limited under 23 players I can get.
There's no way you're going to get this answer, Harry. And anyone that does get this, it's going to be well worth it, right? This one's going to be hard, guys. This one's going to be, you're going to earn this card, right? If you win it, right? Thoroughly. So if it's too hard, maybe we'll have another one. But I think this should be fine, right? So earlier in the stream, I told all you guys that I was 24th in All-Star Rare Plus with a score of 406.86. Okay. And I also told you that McBride was just ahead of me, and he's now 6th, I've checked, but he was first in Challenger. What is the point difference between me and McBride's two teams in question? So I finished on 406.86. McBride is 6th in Challenger. What is the difference in scores? James went for the score. I'm sorry, pal. I'm making this harder. What was the difference in our scores?
I'm trying myself, Quinny.
If you can get in the chat, Harry, it's a fair game. If you're in the chat, there's no way you would know it.
No, I'm just having to. Was it your all-star lineup?
Some people are close. Oh, I think somebody's got it. Let's keep them going, but let's keep them going.
Yeah, somebody's got it. I think I'm too late.
Hey, okay, I think we're about there. So McBride's team, I can't remember what it scored, but my team scored, I told you that. The point difference was 1.32, okay? Now, I'm going to double check who was actually first in with the 1.32 was the right answer. And Callum Carter-Davidson was in with 1.2 as a guess, I think. So he was so close with that. And then eventually we had the correct answer come in. Mailman was close with 1.3, but our first 1.32 was Jack Doyle, 1888, good friend of the channel. Jackie boy, just throw your club name into the chat and we'll get that shipped over to you before the deadline. Now, also, guys, we have another card to give away as well. I need to go and comment pick of this, okay? So we're also giving away 3D Premier League cards on the channel, okay, at the moment. Last week, we gave away Eze. The week before that, we gave away Flecken, or maybe vice versa. And this week, we're giving away a 3D Yves Bissouma. Now, let me go put this on screen. He's back from suspension. He's playing tonight for Tottenham. Tottenham are playing Luton Town tonight. So, very good, optimal fixture for a guy like this. So, if you need him before the deadline, it's a great game to get him in. Okay, now it's maybe a wee bit late to enter. If you want the details on how we do the giveaway for this, we'll still get one more card to give away next week, I'm sure. The Raheem Sterling. The full details are on the channel. But I'm going to go and just get the video in question, which was the cards explained video for the Bissouma. Yep. And it's just a promotion on the channel for the new 2 content, how to start Sorare, the beginners content that we've made on the channel, that hopefully you guys don't mind supporting. And for supporting it, I'll try my best to give you a giveaway. We've not had that much interaction with it, guys, if I can be quite frank with you. So, Sorare cards explained. Let's get the link. There we go. And I think we're ready to go now. So, I might do it again, just to give the videos another little boost and stuff, guys. The number of winners. Now, I like putting a bit of suspense into this. 15 seconds. We'll find out who is the winner. It's a nice wee 15, I mean by 15 seconds is this wee animation now. Who is the winner? It's going to run for 15 seconds. So everyone that's entered, you should see your name there. They're playing Palace. I don't know why I keep saying Tottenham are playing Luton tonight. They're playing Palace tonight. I'm sorry. But anyway, the winner of the Yves Basuma is 15 seconds. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Has Harry got a comment in there? I'm in there once or twice responding to people, so hopefully I don't win it. But the winner is Danielle Patino. Congratulations. Excellent video. Keep doing more videos like this. Danielle Patino, fist bump, my man. I'll drop a wee comment to you. And if you're here, let us know, and we'll get this shipped over to you now. But Jack Doyle has come in, and his club name has been confirmed. So we're going to get the Stoikers sent over to Jack. Congratulations, Jack. Thanks for entering the content. And I know you're used to scooping up a lot of giveaways on the Analysis channel, so it's good to see you winning one over here now, buddy. And that was what was his name? Stoikens. Stookers. Jack Doyle, congratulations. And I hope he serves you well, my friend. Excellent. So we've done the giveaways, guys. We're approaching the deadline. We've smashed the likes. Guys, could we get to 100 likes? It would make me really happy. We're at 80 at the moment. There's a bunchies here. Can we push it? But on top of that, maybe now at this point in the stream, guys, we normally look at teams and stuff, right? Before we get into that, or we'll take requests as well. Any more predicted lineups you want, we'll go and throw them up on screen. But while I've got you all here, something I thought I would ask you, right, is I'm tempted tonight to do a watch-along stream for Tottenham against Palace and Girona against Celtic Vigo. And I was also tempted, if I didn't do that, maybe to do a watch-along stream for El Clasico tomorrow, because I won't be able to watch it with my... I'll just be in a different location, let's say, perhaps, or something. I don't know where you're on the internet. But I was thinking about doing one of those two things. So if you're here, what's your thoughts? Good idea? Bad idea? Would you be up for it? Would you not? There's a bunch here, a lot of regular viewers of the channel, a lot of the guys that would be enjoying the content if we did it. So your thoughts and feelings are appreciated. Is it a members' content? Is it something we should do with members, perhaps? Who knows? So something I just wanted to throw out there and let you know. But guys, how good is this as well? We do have a sponsor here on the channel. QuinnBet sponsor all the content here on the channel. And how good is this? I need to double check the link is in the description, but I'll go and throw that there for you. Because they sponsor the content, if you're going to be getting up to anything this weekend, putting a wee punt on, putting a wee ACCA on, whatever, and you enjoy the content here at Quinny 3001, they support the channel. If you're going to go and do anything with QuinnBet, there's a link in the description in this video. They'll get you a free bet up to £35. It's for new customers to sign up only. You get the full terms and conditions on the website, QuinnBet.com, or by clicking on the link that I'm going to put in the description of the video. I'll also put it I'll pin it in the live chat for anyone that's here with us at the moment. And by clicking on that link, you'll get a free bet. You'll support the content here on the channel, and everyone is happy. Now, I only recommend it if you're going to be doing that stuff anyway. Of course, gamble responsibly, over 18s only, and all the rest of it. And let me just go make sure it's in the chat here, guys. But yeah, thanks again to QuinnBet. They do so much to sponsor us. They do so much to keep the channel going and help us push the content. There's a lot of stuff planned and up and coming that I can't begin to tell you about yet. But please do support them, because they support us if you're going to be doing that stuff anyway. And yeah, I just need to add it into the description. So it's there now, guys. It's in the description of the video if you're after it. And Harry Boy, do you want to show us your teams? Oh, you've got yours loaded. Love it.
Yeah, I've got my teams on Sorare load. I normally show them on Sorare data, but I'm not frantically changing my lineups for once, which is a change. So yeah, I don't know what that really means. Hopefully good things. But yeah, no, I've got quite a lot of goalkeepers to be able to utilize right now, especially Super Rare. I've got like 4 Super Rare goalies to be able to use. So, outside of Cat Mode and Under 23 Super Rare, I'm just trying to throw together lineups in All-Star Super and 220, which are just not throwaways, but they're not like priority lineups in any way. But yeah, Cap 240 Super is one I'm actually really excited about. I think I nailed the cap on the dot, to be honest. I think it's 240 on a 1 point away. Big Slattery as my captain at home to Ross County. I had a lot left over as far as caps go because Sam Greenwood's still like an L15 of like 33. So yeah, was able to fit in Timber. Not great fixture away to 20, but I wanted to make use of his L15. So I'm really excited about that. Making use of Leszczuk as well, being number 1 right now at Dynamo with Shunin out. Going for a weird under 23 rare plus. Now we have to call it. Look, the Excelsior boys. The Southampton boys, you might call me, well, you are going to call me crazy. Why are you trusting in the Southampton boys? But Sulemana was rested midweek. I think he plays this weekend. And then, Bazanu at home to Rooney's Birmingham, who I think, yeah, surely they don't score. Well, they probably do, but I'm hoping Southampton keep a clean sheet, obviously. And then Caceres back in that Lanús side, sorry. Yeah, some decent teams going around. We've got obviously MLS playoffs, so I've got Cincinnati's Alvaro Barriel as my captain. Jesus away to Sounders. I don't love the fixture, but I think he might nick a goal. I've got so many games playing. So many players playing tonight. I've got Kulusevski and Abila for A-Bar in my All-Star Rare. I've then got, have a look at this. I'm now playing Cap 240 Limited, Quinny, as part of my Road to Glory series. And big thanks to Germ. I don't think Germ's watching right now, but anyway, Germ donated me
here.
Oh, yes,
Germ's here.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, Germ. Germ kindly donated me a Campolat, under 23 goalkeeper. So I'm now able to basically play 2 limited lineups.
What's his name? Campolat.
Yeah, I think he's on loan from somebody. I think it's it might be Fenerbahce. I can't remember, but anyway, he allows me to play Cap 240, and Monchu, Larson, and Cham all play tonight. So yeah, not trusting Zaire Emery. No, not really. No, is my issue, and maybe I'm being stupid for doing so, but yeah, he's just not working his way into a priority lineup right now. Where do I play him is the issue. Is he better than Barriel at home? Not for me. He could be better than maybe one of these two potentially, but he's still got a low L15C, so that's why he fits perfectly into this 220. Stravetsa, I'm actually a bit disappointed, Quinny. He's apparently not going to start this weekend, even though I've captained him. Yeah, so it's weird. He played against Udinese, started. They drew 1-1. And then all the predictions are saying that he's not going to start. I spoke to the guy who kind of does the Lecce predictions, and he reckons he's not going to be the main sort of left winger for the team because is it Banda? Something Banda? Is at 55% on play sharper. But before that, they had Stravetsa. He's at 45 now. I think he was at 15. And I was like, I was looking at all the Italian fantasy sites, and they all had Stravetsa either starting or 60%. I was like, hang on a minute, you can't give him 15%. That's just way too low. So they've bumped him up to 45. I still am unsure he's going to start, and hence why he's in a 220. But if he does start, then I've got him as captain, and they're at home to Torino, which is fun. And I'm making use of Ika Alvarez's L15 of 29 to be able to fit in these these under 23 lads, and hopefully we can hit some threshold this weekend and win some cards. I'm better at hitting the super rare threshold than I am on the rare right now, so I guess that's not a bad thing to have, I guess. But it'd be nice to be able to win both.
It's a great problem to have, Harry boy. Great problem.
It is. But I just want to be obviously winning both because I have more depth at rare. I should be winning the rare one as well, realistically, but I'm not. So is what it is. And what's Jim saying? Jesus pushed out wide because Kamungo being fearless and 23 forward, just got his first cap, or gonna get his call up, blah blah blah. Does a dirty work. Yeah, Jesus doesn't run when he plays for Dallas. It's weird. He's just so big time, isn't he, Jim? That's how I've seen it anyway.
Fair enough. I was going to say as well, Charlie Dunbar's asking about Betis. I think Roca plays. If you look at the decisives he's got a few times, I think he's pretty crucial to the midfield. I don't think he'll rotate. One thing to think about, guys, when you're worried about rotation this week is you should have by now looked ahead. Next midweek is a lot of domestic cups for a lot of Spain and Portugal, or I don't know, Italy, these kind of places. So I think a lot of rotation happens next midweek in that sense, which is good because it's not SO5 related. And I think guys like Roca and one or two other key players that you might be worried about their workload, I think that's the respite that's on the horizon for them. So yeah, I'm going with Roca to start. I know you're going to play your guy anyway. And Charlie also reckons you're brave captain of Sequay as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 240 line. It is what it is kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Ika Alvarez concedes 3, to be honest. They're away to Leganas, who are top of the league. So teams like boom or bust, realistically. And yeah, it's Sequay hasn't been great for sure, but he plays Mechelen, who obviously aren't great, really. And I just think he'll have loads of the ball and loads of chances to, potentially get an assist or two. So that's kind of what I'm banking on. But yeah, he hasn't been great for sure. But as we know, doesn't matter what you did last game, unfortunately, in football, because the next game is, what counts at the end of the day, and hopefully you can do the business.
Yeah, for anyone that cares, I'm swapping my Gabriel Jesus. Oh no, I'm not. So I can't. Oh damn it! I was going to swap for somebody controversial and see what he's all for, but I can't do it. I might be screwed for Premier League Amateur in my last week. Danny Ings, does he still play for West Ham? No, he doesn't. Who's a good 40-point forward? That's kind of what I'm stuck at.
When's Badiashile getting into this Chelsea side, by the way?
Who knows? Probably never. That's right. Does anyone care about my teams? I don't know if I should show you my teams or if anyone cares or not.
Of course,
but we're 15 minutes away. Okay, fair enough. We're 15 minutes away from the deadline. I'm screwed because I can't. I've got too many. I've made a mess of my commons. I'm not spending coins on a swap either. And I need a 40-point forward. I was going to take Brennan Johnson, but I've already got 2 Spurs players, so I can't take a third, which is fine. But there's no one else in that 40-point mark if I can't use Jesus. That's or Ben Rama. Is Ben Rama playing? 41 points. I could take him. Yeah, Ben Rama at home Everton. Does he want to play? Where's play sharper? Is Ben Rama going to play for West Ham? That may be a stupid thing. I don't know if he's been in the team or not recently. West Ham at home to Everton. Is this your training team, Harry? I'll look at this instead.
Yeah, academy.
I'll put this on for you. Is Nketiah 40 points?
Could be, yeah.
If Nketiah's 40, yeah, jackpot. Thanks very much. That was Connor, isn't it? Yeah, it had to be Connor. Luis Diaz at 41. Oh, I might like that a bit better. Yeah, Diaz. 41? 43. I've not got the points for Luis Diaz. And who was the other one you said, Connor? I don't know if Richarlison's not nailed to. Is he 65%? Nketiah, yeah.
I think him and Brennan. Oh, Nketiah, yeah.
Just a straight swap then for Jesus. There we go. Share this tab instead. There we go. Commons are fine. Right, sorted, guys. I'll show you my teams if you care about them. So we're 12 minutes away to the deadline. All-Star Super Rare. We're going for it. We're going to try and get into the money spots. The top 10, I think that is. We're going for money spots. Yeah, top 10 with the Celtic main stack. And then with the Tate being injured, Brais Mendez's recent form has elevated him into the main priority team. Scales and Kyogo kind of pick. His team kind of picks itself, and Brais is a great captain choice with the form he's in. 240, McGinn, I'm finally going to be playing him in a team. Try and catch one of his big scores. Riquelme looks to play against Alves. He could get his competitive debut for FC Barcelona. And then for me, Sorare, Taylor, and Dyson have been like ever present in 240 Super Rare for me. So that's like kind of spine in this cap division for me. I'm just kind of rotating midfielders on L15s, which has been fun. So I'm quite happy with that. And then my third big team in my kind of priority scarcity as it is, I'm going to Champ Super again with a lot of Girona. I'm actually stacking them. Friday night game at home at Celta Vigo. We're going captain Yangel Herrera alongside the Unique that I won recently. Kuto should play. He's had a rest this week from internationals and stuff like that. Oyarzabal's on penalties. He's on to start. Skorupski is playing Sassuolo. I don't expect Skorupski to get the clean sheet against Sassuolo, especially away. But as long as he doesn't concede 3, he should score some AA for me. And, that could be a decent team. The money places in this division is only the top 8. So I'm a little bit less optimistic we can get there. But that's the goal, certainly. But optimism is low. Under 23 Red Harry Boy, talk to me about this team. We're going Trubin, and then we're going Frimmers and Works captain. Savio at home at Celta Vigo, again, I'll mention it. And then the 5th man is Ferran Torres, midfield, 12% XP. He'll be playing up front, hopefully gets a decisive and a bit of AA for his troubles. But yeah, under 23 Rare team, Harry, what do you think about that?
It's good. It's good. Obviously, Ferran's got a tough job, I think, but the other 4 are, primed to have big games. Clean sheet looks probable. Vert's obviously on fire. Frimmy's equally doing his thing, and Savio as well. So yeah, the only weak link for me is Torres, I'll be honest. As far as what he has to do to go and kick on and get, the other teams or the other players are playing are a lot easier, if we're being honest. So surely you have to put Matt O'Reilly in there, Quinny.
You think so?
On. Well, I think that lineup has a good chance of winning under 23 Rare with an O'Reilly captain or even Wirtz captain compared to the All-Star. As in, like, All-Star's hard to win, isn't it, if we're being honest?
The way I kind of thought
That
about
would
this
be.
is like, imagine O'Reilly does a 74 or less. Because it is like, that's been a big week for him. Like, he probably won't play 90 minutes, is kind of what I'm thinking.
Don't you think?
I don't
Does
know,
he
maybe he
need to though?
does. But yeah,
Does he
it does
need
he need
to?
to exactly. But I was a wee bit
Yeah.
worried about that. So I thought Ferran's up front. Lewandowski's on the bench, so he probably doesn't get 90 minutes. That's only came to me this morning, which is why I'm kind of happy to revisit this. But and so I thought I'd show you, see what your thoughts were, what other options are. Rodrigo's not getting into a team for me.
Okay.
I've got Kubo
Kubo,
there.
would you be willing to get him out of somewhere?
So let's have a look at Champ Euro because he's my forward. I think he's maybe my only forward. Yeah, he is. So
Okay.
I actually fancy this team to do some damage. I fancy the City boys to do well. Lima at home at Darmstadt, and then All Black at home to Alaves. Like this feels like a team that could hit big. Like
Yeah, it's a good team. It is a
And
good
if
team. I
I
agree.
take Kubo out of here, I've got Rodrigo for Barca for Real.
Yeah.
So I could play
Again,
Rodrigo
yeah.
or Castellanos. So it's not.
Okay.
So it's a big down step for that forward option if I put Take over there, for Ferran.
Yeah.
I just think Ferran is just as likely to get a 70, and with 12% on top, it makes it a bit easier to take him. He's on his start, I mean, he could get an assist.
Yeah. I just worry, like you said, after 60, if it's still no goals for Barca, he's getting hooked, if we're being honest. Like, he's not playing 90 minutes with
I'm not sure he's the first sub, but I'm not sure he would get 90 minutes.
He's the first attacking sub, I would say. I don't
Over
think
like
they'll bring
Fairman?
Yamal off. Yeah, because he can play deeper as well. So if they might bring like Romeo off. Like Furman's not a winger. He's a number 8. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By trade. So like,
but if you took Fairman off and put Lewandowski on, you could play Torres wide.
You could, but he got no legs. Like he's not a winger, is he, Torres, anymore? If we're being honest, he's a 9.
Inside forward, yeah, inside forward. He's pacey.
Yeah.
Torres is quick.
Nah.
He's not electric.
He used to be.
He's quick.
He's lost his legs. He used to be absolutely rapid at Valencia. He used to just blitz past players like they weren't even there. And then I don't know what happened, but his legs went. So, hence why he's a 9 now. But fair. I don't know. I hope he scores for you. But I think Matt O'Reilly would be my play. Gold away to LAFC is a tough game, Quinny.
It is, but he missed 2 penalties. He's got retribution, and the way the MLS playoffs are going this year is like this round. It's like a series of 3. So if Vancouver don't win this, they're out. Or whatever. This is like a final for them.
No. If they lose the first game, they just have to win the other 2. It's how they play 3 games.
No.
What you mean? No, this is the start of the.
No. They played LA on the last game week.
Yeah, but that wasn't the playoff.
It was. I promise you.
Playoffs haven't started yet.
They did. Kansas played midweek in the playoffs. I promise you.
No, but that was a wild card. That the actual playoffs haven't started.
Oh, so is this? Oh, I thought this was the second game in the series, which made me think it was maybe a bit more important.
No.
They did play early, but 4 days ago. Was that not a playoff game? I'm tripping. Was it not a playoff game? No, it wasn't. It's a regular season game. Fair enough. Yeah. Interesting. Well, anyway, it's a playoff game. It's a playoff game. Everything to play for. It's got retribution on the cards, and it's even more important than get the win. Yeah. I think it was. God gets so much AA. He just needs one decisive. It really doesn't matter how the game goes.
Paulson saying O'Reilly is a no-brainer in that under 23 team. Paulson knows his onions, Quinny. I just think that all-star rare team has such a hard job to go out and do something good. With the under 23 rare team, bar Torres, and you throw O'Reilly in there, that team's fucking so good, Quinny. Like, genuinely, I'm not just saying it. Like, I'm competing against you. I'd rather you not play him in there, obviously, right?
Yeah. So then who fills in this place? I don't think Ferran walks into that team necessarily. Maybe... I put Ferran in there. Does Ferran come in somewhere else? Now is what I'm wondering. And then you guys can see the rest of my teams. You've got me panicking at the fucking deadline. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hey, we just want you to win, Quinny. That's all we want you to do well.
I love the love.
You know I mean?
I love the love. But yeah.
I could say nothing and just watch Ferran pull in a 35 and,
So yeah, Ferran probably doesn't get into... Does he maybe get into 240 ahead of Was? Because Was is playing Nordisland. That's not a great game. And then... what was Ferran's cap? 48. Yeah, he's way more cap friendly. And then Savage, I wasn't too buzzing about. I know it's a good game, but yeah, Angelino is on to play now, so you can score a few more points. That's a bit more of an exciting team. And we'll stay with Captain Dyson, because why not? Okay, now that I'm not going to be threshold now. Now that team's made. Watch this. Threshold will not come my way. And okay, cool. So what does that mean for this team? Who do we have available? So we want to see anyone that's good in training or in a less or prioritised team that we can take up to this. So I could just throw Taylor in and just Celtic defence it up, which I'm not. I could put Was in. I think that kind of takes a. I suppose Was probably fits this team a little bit. High AA. He's like a cheap man's O'Reilly in some respects. High AA just needs one decisive to break 70s and 80s. Or maybe I play. Maybe I just play fit in. And I'm going to play Was. I think just play Was. Keep it simple. We'll just play Was. Because again, yeah, this is a team. Yeah, it is what it is. Captain Gold. We've got a guy.
I know it changes your 220, but Ladero, you not fancy him?
Ladero's not on to start, mate.
Isn't he?
No, they've got Rusnak on to start on Play Sharper.
Interesting. Okay, fair enough.
Rodrigo? Nah, it's not a great game, is it? I fancy myself in this division as well. I fancy myself in this division this week as well, just as a wee random team of people, you know. Got close with that last weekend and kind of my D3s this week that worked out. We're kind of team, so we're built like this, just random people, no stacking or anything.
I like it. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Really good.
And then that 220 team's been a pain in the ass to build because the last spot I can't really get anyone into it that I'm happy with. I went with Ladero just from the bench, but there's nobody else that I could maybe play Savage now because I know he'll start. I could play Savage there, and then let's see, affordable only and used in our lineup. And let's see who's the best option we've got. Manu Sanchez, left back against Girona. Acevedo's not on to start. Nuhu is on to play against. That might be fun. Zacharian from the bench. Yeah, we don't have any good options here for this 220. It's just so hard to fill a team out. Yeah. I think I'll probably just put that Sanchez in on the off chance he gets a decisive. Or even the yeah, I'll just put Sanchez in. Screw it. Just do that. We've went for it. Big game for SPL owners next week. Yes, it is. Midweek is all about Scotland. So yeah, I'm quite happy with all my main teams. These 5 haven't changed. I'm quite confident I'll do pretty well this week, I hope. We'll be doing a live stream tonight anyway, guys, because I've got a reward opening to do. I think we looked at rewards at the beginning of the stream, didn't we? And yeah, we changed to under 23s, a wee bit more power in there. 240s get Ferran in it and Angelino, a wee bit more power. That's cool. I do feel that this All-Star Rares get maybe a touch weaker with Was coming in, but overall probably not really changed the makeup of it too much. And then yeah, 220s, 220. No one really cares about it anyway. So yeah, I think I'm set for the weekend. A few amateur teams as well. I was actually quite excited about the German amateur team because I've got my Neuer on the 0. I've got Jens playing Augsburg, which is a good game. And then I've got Wirtz, Sané and Simons, which should all spank 100 this week. They've all got great games at home, you know, so I'm hoping to win you guys a Bundesliga Unlimited we can give away before we're banned from it. And I actually kind of like the French one as well, Harry boy. I went and drafted in this Irish guy that plays for Lyon called Jake O'Brien. I thought that was quite fun.
Hey, Quinny, that Boogerite came off injured yesterday, by the way. 30 minutes in.
What did you call him? Booger? Booger? How dare you, Harry boy, call him Booger? Is he injured? Oh, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I can play a Sancho yesterday. I'm all right. I can get by. Captain and Guiri then. We can get by. Good catch. I was excited for the German team. The English team I don't think will do well. The Spanish team might be half decent. The Italian team wasn't too buzzing about. And I've only got 5 guys. I want to use all my high XP MLS guys while I can. So I just kept all my guys on high XP and threw them in. Let's see what happens. I'm not holding my breath on it. And Mitch, thanks for becoming a member. Thanks for picking up your season ticket, mate. That's £1 a month to the channel. So thanks very much. And when we're doing a member stream, maybe over the weekend, we might do a watch along. We might do over the weekend, or might do some member stuff. We're definitely doing a rewards stream tonight, guys. We've got some tier 2s, some lovely cards. And the thing is, well, Harry, right? So I'm listening to a lot of Sorare content. Maybe we could just talk about this in the final minute as we get to the deadline. But see now, one thing that I think content creators in general are kind of maybe a wee bit immune to when we're talking about reward pools, which I've not actually really done on the stream today too much, is like a tier 2 is an old tier 1. And I try and talk about this as often as I can. So I know you're probably sick of this, Harry, and maybe a few of the listeners are as well. But I built my gallery on winning those old school tier 1s. Like, tier 2s are great cards, man. Like, overall, like, there's a lot of tier 2s that do a lot of difference to a lot of galleries, you know. So, the newest, so I'm winning a tier 2 tonight, and that's like normally an old school tier 1. So I'm expecting, like, this should be fun. This should be something good, you know. And equally as well, even tier 2s now, like I do think when people see them high up on leaderboards, it's like, oh, it's a tier 2. I think tier 2s, for the most part, like, you know, are good enough pieces that, depending on what scarcity we're talking about and what division you're pulling it from, is a good win, you know, especially in some of the divisions where it's a higher payout. You need to get in the top divisions to get the top places to get the tier 2. I think it's a wee bit undersold how valuable that could be.
100%, mate. I think tier 2s are sneaky. Like, tier 2s are starting goalkeeper comfortably, you know, and like that changes galleries. At the end of the day, it allows you to expand into new territories, divisions. I think it's tier 2's like the most realistic like reward for most people in that sense. Like, you know, if you're a new player or whatever, like aiming for a tier 2 is your star rare at the end of the day. And that's no disrespect, but that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But they have such respectable rewards. Like, the players in tier 2 pools are like legit players, like seriously legit. So yeah, no, I'm buzzing for you.
And that's us in, guys. We are locked and loaded for game week 418. I want to say it is. I might be wrong. Should have probably did that at the beginning of the stream. But we're locked and loaded, guys. We're in. And yeah, guys, we're about to love yous and leave yous. Good luck this game week. I'll see you later tonight on the channel for rewards. Maybe we'll do some watch-long stuff like we spoke about. We'll see how it goes. Harry Boy, it's been an absolute pleasure. But for everyone that's watching, it's not the end for you. They're still going to listen to you. As soon as I hit this off button, you're going to be taking to Sorare TV for the latest episode of Looking Up the Laird, featuring Harry Boy here, along with some other familiar gorgeous Sorare faces as well, Sam Ty and Andy Laird. So, Harry Boy, thanks for joining me on the stream today, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Good luck.
Pleasure's mine, mate. All the best, lads.